Good New Year's Eve to everyone. Thanks for stopping by Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, your source for weather information for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith on this final day of 2013, and we're welcoming in 2014, hopefully on a good note, but it's going to be a cold note as well. And we still have the prospects of a winter weather event here, a winter storm here along the New Jersey, New York, Philadelphia corridor during the day on Thursday into early Friday. This is the winter storm video forecast discussion for the last day of the year, December 31st, 2013. Waking up shortly before sunrise this morning, temperatures are in the teens across northwestern New Jersey. And this includes all of Morris County, Sussex, and Warren County, northern Passaic and Bergen counties too. Temperatures elsewhere close to the city in the lower 20s. It's a frosty cold late ending for 2013, but generally clear skies. And temperatures elsewhere are in the 20s this morning as Arctic air has invaded the New Jersey, New York City, Philadelphia metro area. Surface map this morning shows some mid and low level cloud cover around the area. Not everywhere is experiencing that. Skies are mostly clear across Long Island and into the city and through central and southern New Jersey. We have a few more clouds here in southeastern Pennsylvania and also in northeastern New Jersey and up the lower Hudson Valley. The story is the cold air and the light winds. Right now the winds have died down quite significantly, but they're going to ramp up in just about another 24 to 36 hours. But anyway, right now temperatures are in the teens to the low and mid 20s with a variable cloud cover across the region. Right now with westerly winds, and we're nearing the high tide, astronomical high tide cycles on Wednesday morning, we're going to experience small craft advisories for westerly winds on the south shore, the north shore of Long Island, southern Connecticut, and all of the New Jersey coastal waters into the Delaware Bay area, including the outer waters of the Delaware region here in the Atlantic, until variable times during tonight and tomorrow. And this will extend all the way until around 6 o'clock in the morning on the South Shore and also on the North Shore of Long Island, across the New Jersey coastal waters until 1 o'clock, and into the Bay areas of the Chesapeake until 7 p.m. this evening. Now, what's important here to note is that we are expecting snow to break out across the region during the day on Thursday, possibly late Wednesday night into early Thursday and Thursday night. Right now, there are no watches and warnings in effect because the National Weather Service has not done so, but they will probably do that during today's cycle, and we'll have that in updated form with the video forecast discussion update later this evening. But we'll get into the snowfall amount possibilities and all of that in just a moment. Once again, it's a very complicated forecast going into the future. Here's our Arctic front that has passed to the south and east now. We have another disturbance here across the upper Great Lakes. This will travel right over the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan areas right along Route 80 during this afternoon into 84 and into Connecticut. There could be a light burst or a Windex event of snow flurries or even a snow squall late this afternoon and this evening with a fast freeze across northwestern New Jersey, the Poconos, and just north of New York City into the lower Hudson Valley. And this is something that we're going to have to monitor in real time because it could put down a coating with whiteout conditions at times for a very few minutes and then a rapid fast freeze to the air mass with slick conditions. And because it is a big travel night tonight, I just wanted to point that out to you as well. Here we have a very active subtropical jet stream, our moisture, and this is our baroclinic zone with moisture feeding in across southeastern Texas and the Gulf of Mexico. We have this upper air disturbance now, this area of low pressure here across the upper Midwest. This will help to carve out the deep trough into the eastern United States. And this area here of low pressure will conjoin with this developing area of low pressure in the Gulf to create a surface low off the Carolina coast. And most of the models have now converged on the idea of taking the storm well out to sea, but still close enough to the area with the merging of this and the right rear quadrant of an upper level jet to produce snow across the region during Thursday and Thursday night, ending into early Friday morning. Again, tonight is a big travel night for many people are out. It is New Year's Eve, and there is a weak trough that will be moving through the area with a Windex event across the Poconos and northwestern New Jersey where we could find a quick coating, a tenth of an inch or so of snow in a snowburst late this afternoon and this evening, which would definitely put a coating on the ground and make for very slip travel conditions. So we do want to let you know about that. And the models have pretty much converged on the idea of a wet precipitation event here across northeastern New Jersey, the lower Hudson Valley into Connecticut and all of Long Island, where anywhere from about 60 hundredths of an inch of liquid precipitation, up to near an inch in spots where heavy banding forms. And this is the liquid precipitation output from the National Weather Service office in New York City. Now, a lot can still change as this steepening storm rapidly races to the north and east on Friday morning. Out over the coastal waters. The National Weather Service in New York has already issued a storm total snow forecast. This would include anywhere from 6 to 8 inches of snow across northeastern New Jersey. That's Bergen, Essex, and Passaic counties, into portions of New York City, the lower Hudson Valley, Connecticut, 6 to 8 inches in this general region, with higher amounts of 8 to 10 inches across northeastern Connecticut. Now, this is preliminary and will probably change, and right now there are no watches, warnings, or advisories out. And you're going to ask yourself, well, where are the snowfall output from the National Weather Service in Philadelphia? Good question. They haven't released that yet. Yesterday, the European model was the slowest in getting this storm going, and then kept the snow keep going through the area with very, very heavy amounts. Now, most of the models are now starting to converge. This is the GFS 120-hour snowfall output for the entire New Jersey, New York, Philadelphia metro area. This pretty much matches where we think the snowfall totals will be the highest. Get north of 84 here across Middletown and Peekskill, down into Bridgeport, Meriden. These areas could receive anywhere from between 8 to 10 inches of snow. It's possible in snow banding, and we just don't know where the snow banding is going to set up yet because the storm really hasn't formed, and there's a lot of questions here. Generally, we're thinking the east ends and the northeast ends of the region will experience this snowfall the longest, and also the more moderate to heavy banding of snow. Interior sections of northern New Jersey out to the Poconos, just south of Scranton, and also north of Allentown, could be dealing with amounts between 6 to 8 inches, and this would include coastal regions of Ocean and Monmouth County too. And this is the preliminary estimate. This is not a final forecast in any way. This is just a preliminary thoughts here. Now, from Allentown, just south of Trenton and Philadelphia, amounts could be locally in the 4 to 6 inch range, and that would extend all the way down to around Atlantic City or just to the north of that. Now, again, these amounts are preliminary, and there could be adjustments to these areas of snow, especially across central and southern areas, if the storm takes a further track further out to sea. Snow banding and more moderate snow would be found across northeastern areas, and again up to where 84 and 87. And this would mean the interior portions of Connecticut and interior southeastern New York State. So lots of things can still change here, but this is a preliminary thought this morning. Morning surface chart from weatherroanoke.com. A digital atmosphere software shows the Arctic front now well off the coast with some lingering precipitation here across the Delmarva region. It's very light. Meanwhile, we have an upper air trough which is approaching the Great Lakes with some snow blooms coming in from off of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. This area of low pressure here across the Great Lakes and this trough line will cross the region. Most of the precipitation will remain to the north around 87 and 84 interstates during late this afternoon and this evening, but there could still be some areas here in northwestern New Jersey and the Poconos that get a burst of snow or a snow squall that passes through the region. And this would be in the heart of the evening, late afternoon and evening, when people are traveling to and from their destinations. And then this system back in here across the upper Midwest will conspire with low pressure here down in the Gulf to create a surface wave off the mid-Atlantic coast, which will become a pretty formidable and rapidly deepening low off the coastal waters of the New Jersey, New York City metro areas, and this will be on Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening, racing rapidly to the northeast on Friday morning with precipitation ending. Still lots of questions here as to where and how much snow and the snow ratios, where some people get a lot and some people aren't going to get too much. GFS maps into motion now. High pressure across the region. Weak surface trough here moving across and over the forecast region to the north of the region during this afternoon and evening. Could spot wash, could create a few dusting areas of light snow or snow burst across the Poconos and northwestern New Jersey into the lower Hudson Valley. And high pressure builds in briefly with the zonal flow. Upper trough begins to carve out here across the Central Plains. Area of low pressure dives south and east towards the Central Plains and Southern Plains and converges with this area of moisture here along the Gulf Coast, brings the entire thing up along the coastline with a surface wave that then redevelops off the Carolina coast, and precipitation begins to break out. Now there's two areas here because this is a Miller B-type storm system. We have a jet culprit here across southern New England down through the Ohio River Valley, and a surface wave developing here off the Carolina coast. In conjunction with this, we're going to find a little bit of a dry slot temporarily where it could be snowing in parts of the area tomorrow morning, or tomorrow evening, actually, Wednesday evening. And then this area should begin to fill in a little bit as the surface wave then begins to create itself off the mid-Atlantic coast states. Notice the GFS still keeps some areas precipitation free, and this would be during Thursday afternoon. But by Thursday evening, things begin to fill in, but the surface wave now begins to pull off the mid-Atlantic coast states. It's cold enough. The area for snow, even moderate to heavy snow, could be again across the interior sections away from New York City, but even New York City could still see a pretty high snow ratio of 15 to 1. And definitely the tight packing of the isobars here means that strong high pressure coming in over the top across the Great Lakes, and this departing low will create a strong pressure gradient. We're looking for temperatures to plummet into the teens and single digits during Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening, and wind chill values to be as low as 0. So it's going to be very cold on Thursday. In fact, the next 24 to 36 hours is going to be very cold, ring out of New Year's 2013 and the beginning of 2014, with this snow potential here for the day on Thursday and Thursday night. That begins to pull away. We could find some strong frontogenetic banding here into early morning on Friday, and this would be for interior Connecticut and all of Long Island and New York City. This snow could really be piling up in a very short period of time, especially very late Thursday night and early Friday morning during that time frame, until the storm begins to deepen rapidly off the coastal waters of southern New England into the Atlantic Canadian Maritimes. That high pressure briefly builds in across the region during the day on Saturday and Saturday night, and that means another frontal boundary and storm system from northern and southern stream energy will begin to partially phase across the region on Sunday, with an increase in cloud cover once again, and there could be precipitation knocking on our back door Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening, and we'll just have to wait and see because the models are still converging on the solution for this storm. So let's take one storm at a time. We're going to have live coverage set up on the website, which will be set up beginning tomorrow morning, possibly even early tonight. We'll put the live coverage back on I mean, it's on the website anyway, but we'll put it out in form next to or over the top of the video forecast discussion. Of course, all the updates and everything will be continually updated throughout the day and tonight and into the new year. Happy and safe new year to everyone out there. Thanks for following us all, for all of your great support, love, and help during 2013. We hope that you have a very safe and enjoyable 2013 exit into 2014. Remember to bundle up outside and be careful, because we'll be back bright and early in live form on Wednesday morning. For Garden State Weather at GardenStateWeather.com, I'm forecaster Robert Smith. Once again, Happy New Year, everyone, and we'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning with the latest details.